Most people believe change happens in big moments, a promotion, a breakthrough, a lucky opportunity. They wait for a perfect day, a perfect plan, a perfect burst of motivation. But real change rarely arrives like a storm. It comes quietly, one small step at a time. This is the story of a man whose life didn't change overnight. It changed little by little, and that made all the difference. In a modest neighborhood lived a man named Ryan. He was ordinary in every visible way. He had a stable job, a small rented apartment, and a routine that never changed. Wake up late, rush to work, come home tired, scroll on his phone until sleep took over. Ryan often felt stuck, not unhappy enough to quit everything, but not fulfilled enough to feel proud. Deep inside, he carried a quiet disappointment with himself. "I'll fix my life someday," he used to think. Someday never came. Every evening, Ryan promised himself he would start doing better. He would wake up earlier, he would exercise, he would learn something new. But mornings always defeated him. The alarm rang, and his hand silenced it without a second thought. Days blurred into months, months into years. One night, after another long day, Ryan caught his reflection in the dark screen of his phone. His eyes looked tired, older than his age. Something about that moment felt heavy. He whispered, "Is this really it?" That night, instead of scrolling endlessly, he put his phone down and sat in silence. For the first time in a long while, he didn't try to escape his thoughts. He faced them. Ryan realized something important. He wasn't failing because he lacked talent or opportunity. He was failing because his days had no intention. His life was running on autopilot. The next morning, he didn't make a big plan. He didn't write a long list of goals. He made one small decision. "I'll wake up 10 minutes earlier," he said to himself. Just 10. It sounded almost too easy, and that was the point. The next morning, the alarm rang. His body resisted. His mind begged for sleep, but he remembered. Just 10 minutes. He sat up. Those 10 minutes felt awkward. He didn't know what to do with them, so he simply sat by the window, breathing, watching the street slowly wake up. That morning felt different. Not amazing, just calmer. The next day, he did it again. After a week, those 10 minutes became a habit. Ryan added another small change. He drank a glass of water after waking up. No motivation, no excitement, just consistency. Then another change. 5 minutes of stretching. Then another, making his bed before leaving. Then another, reading 2 pages of a book at night instead of scrolling. None of these changes felt life-changing on their own. In fact, they felt almost insignificant. But something invisible was happening. Ryan started keeping small promises to himself, and that built trust. For the first time in years, he felt reliable in his own eyes. Weeks passed, his energy improved slightly. His mood felt lighter. His mind felt clearer. Not because life became easier, but because he was becoming stronger. One evening, a coworker noticed the change. "You seem different lately," she said. "More present." Ryan smiled. He hadn't even realized it showed. Encouraged, he made another small adjustment. He walked for 15 minutes after work instead of collapsing on the couch. At first, it felt pointless, but those walks became his thinking space. His stress slowly melted into movement. Months later, Ryan looked back and barely recognized the man he used to be. He was waking up earlier, not by force, but naturally. He was moving his body every day, not intensely, but consistently. He was learning a little at a time. He was calmer, more focused, more confident. Not because he changed his entire life in one moment, but because he changed his days. There were still bad days, days when he skipped routines, days when motivation disappeared. But the difference now was simple. He didn't quit. "If I miss once, I return tomorrow," he told himself. That mindset changed everything. A year later, Ryan stood in the same apartment, looking at the same window. But he wasn't the same person. He had earned a promotion not by trying harder once, but by showing up better every day. His health improved. His self-respect returned. Most importantly, he no longer waited for someday. He understood the truth. Big changes don't come from big decisions. They come from small daily actions repeated with patience. Ryan often shared this lesson with others. Don't try to change your life in a week. Change your morning. Change your evening. Change one habit. Then protect it. Because when you change how you spend your days, you change how you spend your life. And sometimes the smallest changes create the greatest transformation.